Information communication technologies have become an integral part of our lives. The desire and the need for ICT-based products continue to increase as we seek solutions to problems that confront countries on the continent. Apps4Africa tries to engender change from the bottom up, where young innovators are encouraged to do more for their communities through the use of simple technologies. Some young enterprising Africans have taken up the challenge and have developed ICT-based products that are making measurable impact in society. Call it African ingenuity. John Goshe is the director of Apps4Africa. He tells me more about the idea and the competition.
TEDx Accra is really just a gathering of ideas and people who have come together to have a conversation about global development, technology, and many things. One of the reasons why we're having this is to highlight the winners of a competition called Apps4Africa. It's a contest that happens every year, and what that contest does is it rewards African software developers for solving problems that affect African countries. So we go to 15 different countries across the continent. We have events much like this. We share ideas. People go away, they develop applications, and then from the number of people who've submitted applications, we select winners, and then we offer those winners prizes.
So what kind of software are we talking about?
Many different types of software, mobile applications, but also desktop applications. We look at the potential impact, and obviously the most impact that you're going to have on the continent is with mobile apps for feature phones, SMS applications, and software that can be accessible by many.
Who are the winners of this year's Apps4Africa?
Yeah, we've had 9 winners in total, 3 from each region, so East Africa, West Africa, Southern Africa, and of those winners, we've had 1 from 6 different countries. So we've had a winner from Nigeria, first place winner for the West Africa competition. The second place winner from the West Africa competition was Ghanaian, and then the third place winner was from Senegal. The East Africa competition, the first place winner was Tanzanian. The second place winner was Kenyan, and the third place winner was a team of Ugandans. And then the Southern Africa competition is just wrapped up last week.
What kind of prizes do you give to the winners?
A total of $75,000 spread out across the region, so $75,000 US. For each region, it's $25,000. So and then that's split 3 ways. So first prize is $15,000, second prize is $7,000, and third prize is $3,000.
What would they be using the prize for? What would they be using the money for?
A great question. So hopefully they use it to scale their ideas. A number of them want to form businesses, and so this can be considered like a seed investment into their business. Others are looking to support themselves while they continue to develop these as projects, and so hopefully this will help with that. I mean, obviously we want the money to go towards solving these problems, but we actually don't restrict what they do with the funds in any way.
The first winner of the West African competition, Victor Ekweme, a young Nigerian ICT expert, explains the idea behind his software.
The application that I submitted for the Apps4Africa is called Hospital Manager. It is an application that helps or deals with an aspect of climate change for crisis management. And it tries to help the hospitals deal with the amount of patients that come in after severe weather. The thinking behind it was that most people will come into the hospitals after excess rainfall, huge amounts of heat, people with asthma or people that have fever, cold all the time, people who live in some places that they're more malaria prone. These kind of people will visit hospitals more often. And so the hospitals are not able to cater for the amount of patients coming in on a regular day, not even on a time when it's very, very severe. So it's better for hospitals to be better prepared in order to deal with this kind of situation.
How does the software work?
Well, it's basically a standalone application. It feeds off information from the internet, so you can call it like a web/stroke desktop application. It feeds off information from the internet, like the weather information, climate information, the forecast. Once it feeds from that information, it has an engine room that forecasts how many patients that come into the hospitals. Then it now builds up a kind of timetable for the hospital so that to prepare. So in essence, like if they were on a normal day, you have a doctor or one doctor on call or two doctors on call on an 8-hour shift. It puts that into as initial setup into the application. So then, but if there is like excess rain, let's say on a particular day, so the day after, you should have probably like two doctors on call or more nurses, to cater for the amount of patients coming in.
So that is the benefit to the hospitals. The price that you had, how much is it and what will you be doing with it?
The first price was $15,000. For now, what I'm doing is I'm actually getting more information in the state of Lagos from different hospitals and actually coming up with a better forecast or better data, so that because we're dealing with people's lives here and the hospitals obviously have to cater better for these people. So I'm getting all the requirements, getting the data needed for the software. Once this is done, then I can actually go ahead and start building a full-blown application, then test and then deploy.
Aloysius Atta, a Ghanaian co-founder of a mobile phone-based software, Farmerline, designed for farmers, is the second West African winner.
Farmerline is an agriculture application, a system that supplies agriculture content to farmers, extension officers, and agro input dealers. So, for example, extension officers in Ghana are supposed to go to the farmers to give them information about agriculture. But the current rate, farmer to officer ratio is at least 1:1,005. So, meaning that one extension officer is responsible to about 1,005 farmers. And they are supposed to go to the villages to go and give the farmers the knowledge, and that's very tedious. They have to pay money and go to the villages, and that's very expensive to manage. So that actually affects the efficiency of the extension officers. But we realize one thing: there is high penetration of mobile phone in Ghana. At least everybody has a phone, and most farmers have access to phone, if not own the phone. And that's a very great news for all of us, because we can leverage this platform to build a product. And the inspiration to start this project started when I and my co-founder, Emmanuel, also had that. We wanted to go into farming, and we faced the same challenge, and we realized that this is a global issue. So why not just build a system that could link up the farmer and the extension officer, so that the officer will not have to travel to the village every week or every month to go and deliver the information. So that's how come we build the platform. We built a prototype of the platform, and we entered the Apps4Africa competition, and we won in West and Central Africa, and they gave us $3,000 and a lot of exposure. We built the software a few months ago, but currently we are on a pilot basis, and Engineers Without Borders Canada has actually invested into our research and development.
Paint a picture of how it works for us.
I wish I can show you the app right now on my laptop, but I think we can't show people because we're on radio. We realize that most farmers cannot read and write. Okay, so if you use a SMS, they can't read. But we realize they all have one common denominator. That's the voice. They cannot talk. So we are trying to leverage this platform. So if you're a farmer and you want information, maybe market prices, you want to know, have access to finances, maybe we want us to connect you to a bank to access a loan, or you want to know how to apply fertilizer, and you want to know about the weather, instead of sending you an SMS, or instead of you waiting for the officer to come once a week or once a month, you can just pick your phone and call a short code, and we serve you with all the languages in Ghana, and you choose the language that you can best express yourself in. You ask your question, and the expert in that industry will see the question and answer it, and you receive it via voice SMS. So the farmer will get to play the answer to the question over and over again in the language he or she understands. So it's like you have the officer right there in your farm repeating the same information to you. So that will help them to do the right thing on the field. At the long run, their productivity will increase and their income will increase at the long run.
What would this do to Ghana's economy? We import a lot of food from other countries. Now that you are bringing in this software, what will this bring to the agri sector?
I think this is a technology for the professional of the future, because I see this industry to be the professional of the future, because about 60% of the workforce in Ghana here are all farmers, and not big farmers with tractors, but smallholder farmers. So it means that when we empower these farmers and they're able to make money to maximize their yield, then the economy will improve. Which means that in the next few years, when we're able to innovate, bring another technology for the agri sector, this time they can be able to pay something for it. But now they can't even pay. That's why our business model is even free. We build a system, we give them the content, it's all for free. Yeah, our goal is to help them to trade their way off poverty.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Action Chapel International and former Chief Executive Officer of the Commonwealth Technology Organization, Dr. Ekos Pio Gabra, who was at the forum, emphasized the importance of e-systems to national development.
And we need technology not just for e-commerce, but for e-government, for e-agriculture, for e-health, for e-education. And even those applications sometimes have commercial or buying and selling possibilities. You can sell books on an e-platform for e-educational purposes. The government can also generate revenue using online services for people who want to, say, pay their taxes, or who want to buy a birth certificate, or who want to apply for a passport. All those things generate money because there are fees attached to it. You want to apply for a hunting license, or you want to register a gun, all the things that, or you want to buy a piece of land. All these e-government services often have payments attached to it. So government itself can generate a lot of money through e-payment platforms and online commerce